Welcome to the Super Spy Podcast.
And we are back, rock stars. Okay, just a heads up. Today, we're talking about everything and nothing at the same time because there's a few issues I really want to raise today, and a few issues that are gonna make you maybe scratch your head and say, "How is this happening?" And I don't know anything about it. But the first thing I want to talk about are the shortages of stuff that you're seeing in the stores, and I'm getting a little frustrated about this because one of the things that I find odd is there is a shortage on cream cheese. I'm thinking, why are we having a shortage of cream cheese? Now, never will I ever defend the state of New York. But for a state that is known for their bagels, what else do you put on your cream cheese or on your bagel is but cream cheese? So I'm a little interested on what this is, how this is impacting New York and New York City specifically. I remember traveling up there last couple of years. Uh, my first stop would always be a delicatessen, so I could get a real bagel and some delicious schmear, some of that cream cheese. I'm not one of those flavored cream cheese guys. I'm a straight up, let me get the good cream cheese and enjoy this bagel, especially with a good espresso or something like that. So I started thinking, is this supply problem that we have, is this real? I mean, I've talked to a few truckers who are saying, no, it's blown out of proportion, that there is a supply and demand big chasm between supply and demand, uh, but they are willing to drive. The problem is some of them cannot drive, especially cross border Canada, U.S., because the U.S. is requiring um, vaccinations for these drivers. So that's a little bit of the problem. But then as I started to research this, it turns out that it isn't the supply problems that we are, quote, having, but in October, a cyber attack hit the major cream cheese supplier, and it limited production for several days just before the holiday season. Now, in 2020, there was a demand, a great um, rise in demand for cream cheese, and that was because there was more people were baking from at home than before in 2019. So uh, Kraft, Kraft, one of the bigger makers of cream cheese, they said that the demand raised at this elevated level when it jumped up 18 to 20% in 2020, and they said it stayed at that elevated level throughout 2021. So it's not that they weren't planning about this, but for crying out loud, United States, we have a strategic reserve for oil. Don't you think it's about time we have a strategic reserve for, the important things in life like cream cheese? Well, the next thing that has me a little bit perplexed, if you will, is the shortage on chicken. All right, not just chicken, but just chicken wings. Now, someone has to explain to me if I'm going into the store and I'm seeing packages of chicken legs and chicken thighs and chicken breasts and sometimes whole chickens, why is there a shortage on chicken wings? And when I say chicken wings, I'm talking about the little pieces. that are traditionally seen when you order wings, that like Wing Stops or Buffalo Wild Wings. So these are the chicken wings that we have grown to love, to eat at games, for watching Army Navy, go Army, and of course watching the Super Bowl coming up in February, where we will once again see the Buccaneers. But anyway, why do we have a shortage of chicken wings? Are these like special chickens? And trust me, I'm not trying to be glib here. Uh, I I'm trying to picture what these chickens look like if if we see their legs and their thighs and their breasts in the stores. Uh, why aren't we seeing the wings? I mean, come on. I am interested about what Wingstop evidently has done. I have not seen a Wingstop to stop by and check it out, but evidently they're now making chicken thighs uh, in their restaurant, and it's going over really well. And I personally love thighs, chicken thighs, and matter of fact, I think there's more flavor in them, and you could do a lot more with them. I use them from everything from soups to just baking them. But here's the thing is that the Washington Post actually reported that these shortages goes way beyond just the wings. Chicken is harder to get a hold of. Now, I've tried to catch chickens before, and it's very hard. But I don't think that's what they're talking about. Now, there is a phenomenon that the Post pointed out: fried chicken sandwiches, which for some reason has gone viral in popularity, especially over the past few years. McDonald's has even launched its own um, uh, fried chicken sandwich, if you will. But they're saying that the hot chicken, if you've ever tried the Kentucky Fried Chicken uh, hot chicken sandwich, oh my gosh, it is incredible. But for some reason, they're even the Kentucky Fried Chicken is even running out of the hot sauce for it. So we got to be very careful with our again chicken uh, uh, shortages here, because my gosh, what are we going to do? Uh, Run to the border and have Taco Bell? Not a chance. By the way, when I'm talking about good, delicious food like that too, bacon and hot dogs, we may see a shortage on them too. Let's hope not, because boy, that would suck. And speaking of bacon, I'm going to talk about the the stupidity that is California. That's right. I'd slap them right now if I could. California needs to just stop existing. California, on January 1st, Proposition 12 uh, hit the law books over there. Now, here's the funny thing about it, okay? It is a requirement now that any pork product be compliant with the provisions that are set forth in Proposition 12. Okay? Grocers, retailers, restaurants, and even family processors are all trying to figure out, though, um, how are they gonna deal with this the Proposition 12? How are they going to be compliant in following the rules for pork this year? And you're probably asking, well, what are the rules? Well, no one knows. The problem is the state, even though it has passed and it is ready, January 1st, it came into law that you must have what is it here? The state has still not finalized the rules and regulations that all the industry stakeholders need to come into compliance and to demonstrate that all pork they buy or sell was raised under new requirements. Now, 98% of the pork comes from out of state. Okay? So they import most of, well, 98%. So let's just say all of their pork. And the state's pork suppliers have no way of proving on their own pork that it was raised in compliance with this new proposition. They have to be able to rely on what the state is calling a state approved certification system. But this regulation that was just released by the state says that the certification system is still 2 years away from being put in place. Now, the state was supposed to complete those rules by 2019. So once again, the political system has failed California. So it was supposed to be completed. All of the provisions were supposed to be ready by 2019 so that it would give about 2 years for the industry to figure out how they were going to change to meet the new requirements. It was going to require new labeling to ensure that all of the pork from out of state was shipped with valid certificates. Now, think about this. Without any rules in place about how to label and certify this pork, do you think that the food industry has any clue on how to supply California with pork this year? I don't understand. Sometimes I don't want to understand. Goodbye, California. I am never going to visit you again. I promise you that. And finally, I want to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart, and something that is kind of breaking my heart. If you drink coffee, or if you know me and realize that I am a coffee fanatic, you will know that I follow the coffee industry pretty closely. Matter of fact, when I ask people where the number one coffee grower is, everyone raises their hand and says, "Oh, Colombia." No, it's not Colombia. Okay, the number one coffee grower is Brazil. Excuse me. Now, Brazil has been experiencing for the past couple of years now unusually drought conditions during their wet seasons. Okay, last May, I think it was Bloomberg. They came back and came out and said, "Hey, listen, this is going to be a problem because not only are they experiencing droughts during their wet season, but they are also experiencing frost, and of course the shipping strains that many of the businesses are feeling." So the coffee industry is starting to feel that pinch. Now, coffee did go up in prices in 2021 last year by about 25%. I know that's crazy, but let me give you a hint. Let me give you a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel. I started roasting my own coffee at home a year and a half ago. A year and a half ago, I did it the old-fashioned way, using a pan on an open flame. But I've since upscaled and have two wonderful kids that bought me a coffee roaster, which I'm already thinking about upgrading. But I'm roasting my own coffee because buying the green coffee is a lot less expensive than buying already roasted coffee, and I could control the flavor of the coffee. I don't have to depend on some roaster who likes to roast it darker than I really want. There's different tastes in coffee. You have to understand that. You could buy a green. Let me. I just roasted some Tanzanian pea berry. Okay, so if I buy this Tanzanian pea berry and it's a green bean, I could roast it to any level of flavor that I want. If I roast it at a light roast, I'm going to get a little bit stronger caffeine kick to it, but it's also going to be more of a fruity flavor. If I go a little bit medium, then we're going to get the fruity notes and almost nutty notes. And then if I go to the darker side of the roast, then I get the stronger nutty flavor. And then if you accidentally burn it, and I've accidentally burned coffee beans before. If you burn it, then you've got Starbucks. Ha! That's right, I said it. Anyway, here's the deal. Watch the coffee prices. This is going to be crazy. Watch what you're drinking. I will tell you, occasionally I will buy Folgers. No, I will not drink it. No, I will not serve it to my enemies. I use it and sprinkle it around my garden and around my patio because it helps repel mosquitoes. True story. I mean, not even mosquitoes want to come close to that crap. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to bring you some light news. Next week, we're going to start looking at some other stuff going on. There's another war brewing, because I was talking about coffee, There's another war brewing on the other side of the world. Y'all keep your head down. Stay safe. And until next time, rock stars, this is the Super Spy, and I'm signing off.
Biff Baxter's Super Spy books are available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Kindle. Or just look online. You'll find it eventually.